All right, welcome to your first set of flipped notes. Minerals, what are they? So this is to go along with your notes, what is a mineral? Now I'm going to be reading over the information and discussing it with you, and then you can fill in the missing words on your notes. Okay, let's get started. There are 4,000 minerals that have been identified to date, with 50 to 100 new minerals being discovered every year. And you can see in the picture here that quite a few minerals are represented, and they look very different. So we're going to be learning why minerals look the way they look. Now here in the state of Georgia, we have some pretty interesting minerals. We have gold. So in the northwest Georgia mountains, we have gold. In Dahlonega, Georgia, there is some of the purest gold in the world. Now take this time to fill in your notes. The gold vein of Georgia even moves down through northern Cobb County, where we live, in Cherokee County. So it is possible to find gold in this area. Now these aren't on your notes, but just a little bit of information here about the founder of mineralogy, and that is Georgius Agricola. And he wrote a book back in 1556 on minerals and describing what minerals are. And so let's take a look at the mineral structure. All minerals have 5 things in common. And we're going to write these 5 things down. Number 1, naturally formed. That means that these are products of nature, and they are not man-made. Number 2 is all minerals are inorganic. Now, as we've already learned, inorganic means that it's not been formed from anything living or anything that has ever lived. So all minerals are inorganic. Number 3 is solid. All minerals are solid, so they're not a liquid or they're not a gas. Now, minerals can form from something liquid, but they have to be a solid before they're classified as a mineral. Now, number 4 is probably the most interesting aspect of minerals. They all have a crystalline structure, and we commonly call them crystals. And that actually is the shape that the mineral forms in. Now, number 5 is all minerals have a definite chemical composition. So that's the formula that goes into making the crystal of the mineral. So all minerals are these 5 things. All minerals are naturally formed inorganic solids with a crystalline structure and a definite chemical composition. These 5 things you'll need to know about what minerals are. Let's do a little bit of practice and if we can discover what minerals are. So in the picture here we have a diamond and we have a cubic zirconium, we have glass, and we have a piece of quartz. So let's say whether these are minerals or not. The diamond, is the diamond a mineral? Oops, sorry, let's go back to that. The diamond is a mineral. It's naturally forming and meets all of the qualifications. Cubic zirconium would be a no, because it is made by man, so it's not naturally forming. Glass, here also, made by man, not naturally forming, and so that would not be a mineral, so we'll write no on that line. For a quartz, quartz is a mineral, it's naturally forming, and meets all of the requirements. Now, why are they minerals? We are going to fill that line out in class. So let's continue on down to the next section of examples. Is it a mineral? Talc is a mineral. Limestone is not a mineral. And the reason that limestone is not a mineral, it is a rock and it contains organic material. And so all minerals are inorganic, so limestone cannot be a mineral. Let's look down here at the garnet versus the coral. Now garnets here, you may know as a gemstone, they are minerals. So that would be a yes, you should write down. And coral would not be a mineral because coral is an organic substance formed from sea creatures. And again, why are they minerals? We will fill that out in class. Now our next items deal with another characteristic that all minerals are. So we see the green here, we've got a green liquid and we've got a green gas. Can those be minerals? No, because they are not solid. Malachite here, malachite is a mineral. We'll fill out the why are they minerals also in class. So now we've looked at the characteristics that all minerals have in common. We're going to move quickly through that and go here. So reviewing, naturally forming inorganic solids with a crystalline structure and a definite chemical composition. Now let's look at some properties of minerals. The mineral structure. We said all minerals have a definite chemical structure. Now all minerals contain one or more of the 92 naturally occurring elements. Now we can find elements on the periodic table. So you can look in your agenda at the periodic table and you can find elements. And many of those elements are minerals. All of the metals that you find on the periodic table are minerals. And an element is a substance that only has one kind of atom. And we can compare that to a compound which would have more than one kind of atom in it. You won't find any of those on the periodic table. So on the periodic table, we only have elements. Now some examples of elements that are minerals would be gold, and you can find it with the symbol AU, and copper has the symbol of CU. Now most minerals, though, are not just one atom. They're a combination of different kinds of atoms. So most minerals are made from compounds of different elements. And we have some examples here you might be familiar with. That's a quartz, amethyst, and beryl. And those are the chemical formulas. So you can see that each symbol representing a different element, there are more than one in each of these different types of minerals. And most minerals come from compounds. Okay, we're going to move on to the information on crystals. And I think that's probably the most interesting aspect and characteristics of minerals, the crystal shapes that they form. So when we use the word crystal, we're actually referring to the shape that that mineral forms in. And the shape of the crystal is determined by the arrangement of the atoms or molecules that come together to form that crystalline structure. And we can see some different shapes here in the pictures that you're looking at. There are actually 6 different shapes that we have for the crystalline structure. So you can see them there on your notes. There's a picture that you're looking at right now. Now minerals are pretty useful things. So we have a lot of uses for minerals. So we're just going to go over a few of those uses. Now we have metallic minerals. Those are metals. And they're good conductors of heat and electricity. And some places that we use those are airplanes, cars, computers, and electronic equipment. We have non-metallic minerals that are good insulators of electricity, and we use those kind of minerals for many, many different things. Roads, buildings, bridges, and other structures. Now, of course, we also use minerals for gemstones. You have to have some certain qualifications to be a gemstone, though. You have to be rare and colorful, and people really like the way that mineral looks. They're also usually hard minerals, so that they won't break easy. And they would be used in jewelry. Well, this concludes our flipped notes on what is a mineral. So have these notes with you in class tomorrow, and we can look at some minerals. Have a good evening.